Alrighty, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Crowsnest F1 Series 150 lapper here from Autoclub Speedway, back here on Extreme Sim TV. After a short little delay there for some cute computer problems that I've experienced over the weekend, so hopefully tonight we can get back to some fun racing action, qualifying, getting ready to kick off. We'll have 4 minutes of qualifying here to set the starting lineup for tonight's 150-mile racing action here from Auto Club Speedway. All right, we'll get down to the track, take a look at some of these guys as they come up to speed for their qualifying laps. That is going to be Robert out there right now trying to build up some speed on his get up to speed lap right now. As they cross the stripe. Of course, good fun to see Dave Lane back here, all the Crowsnest guys out here getting these F1 cars ready to go on this flat racetrack, 2.5 miles, the length around Auto Club Speedway. Down the tri-oval we come. Looks like Charles Johnson to the top of the board right off the bat with a 35.117. Right now, Robert is sitting there in P2, Tom third, fourth James Brooks, Bud Steele fifth, Craig White there sixth right now. Dave Lane currently has not turned a time. They're in seventh. All right, 2 minutes and 30 some seconds left in qualifying here tonight, and we will get ready to go racing. And boy, am I looking forward to it. Some fast-paced F1 action. These cars always put on a show as Michael jumps to the top of the board, along with Bud jumping up to second. They're in the 53 machine. Let's see if we can get a couple more of them here out there qualifying right now. We'll take a look at Douglas in that Phillips machine. As he works his way through the tri-oval. Now again, in these cars, you got to watch going down on that apron. We see it just about every week. One of these cars getting in trouble because they touch the apron, looping that car around. Yeah, definitely not something you want to do. Now 10 cars taking time. Michael's still out front, but still right there outside. Kyle Hess jumps up the board up to fourth in the 86 machine. Of course, these Indy cars always kind of hard to tell numbers on them. And you always kind of want to go off the paint scheme more than you do a number. So I will do my best to help you guys at home out with that, as we've got about a minute remaining before we get down to it. Some great racing action. Expect the draft to play a big part here tonight for sure. All right, 25 seconds remaining here. We will get ready to go through your starting lineup here in a moment, as Douglas will finish up his lap. And that will put an end to qualifying. And we'll get ready to grid them up here as checker flag flies on your qualifying effort here tonight. And we're going to take you through the grid here in a moment. Alright, as the cars line up behind the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car, we're going to take you through the starting grid here tonight. On that front row, Mr. Mitchell there takes a hold of that pole, but still to the outside. Row number 2, you got Thomas there in a third, Kyle in fourth. Starting in fifth, Charles, and sixth will be James. Starting inside of row number 4, it's going to be Robert outside Darian. Starting inside of row number 5, it's going to be Douglas outside of Craig. Inside of row number 6, it's going to be Tom outside of him. James there in that number 10 machine. Starting in row number 7 on the inside, Brent, and outside Michael. And inside row number 8, Dwight outside of him will be James. Inside row number 9 is going to be Dave, and outside, of course, Mr. Crow. So here we go. We're getting ready to line them up, and I believe that is Senior who is not racing here tonight. So we'll get you down to your race facts here tonight. Alright, let's take a look. Autoclub Speedway, a 4-mile turn race course, a 2-mile racetrack at 150 laps. They'll do here tonight. Distance of the night's race of roughly 300 miles. A track temp of 64, an air temp of 64 as well, with a 2-mile-an-hour wind out of the south. They'll have to contend with all race long. Alright, as the cars will roll off pit road, and we will get ready to turn them loose for the Auto Club, a 300 or 150, whichever way you'd like to phrase it. 150 laps or 300 miles coming your way in just one moment as these F1 cars start to roar to life here through a turn at number 1. Alright, here they come down the back straightaway, lined up nice and beautifully behind that iRacing pace car, and we're going to get ready to turn them loose here in just one moment. Into turn number 3 they go. Race number 3 getting ready to get underway for the Crowsnest F1 series. Again, this series doing 5 races this season. 2 more after tonight, but we're going to go green from Auto Club as they come out of turn at number 4. Waiting on that iRacing pace car to dive down pit road. Here we go. Getting ready to go green here. They go through the start box. And we're waiting on it, and green flag is in the air. We're underway from Auto Club. Alright, as the cars spread out down the back straightaway. Battle up front right now. 3 cars right there together in a group. Thomas leading the way in that one. See, you've got 5 lanes of racetrack to work with. You got plenty of room. However, you can also get in trouble in a hurry. That arrow push can sneak up and grab you. Thomas now still leading the way. We got a little bit of a blinker there, looks like, on that high group. Bud's still back there in second, trying to make a move. Thomas on the bottom. Now, we've seen in these past weeks that inside group be the dominant group. Will we see the same thing here tonight as they exit turn number 4? Or turn 2, excuse me, down the back straightaway. Right there in third, Robert Charles right there in fourth. And running fifth, that's Kyle Hess. These top 5 cars kind of split themselves apart from the rest of the field. 3 laps into this one, we'll drop back through the pack. Tom leads this next pack here from 6th on back, and they're all over each other as they head to turn 1. Alright, down the back straightaway, exiting turn number 2. 4 laps going to be complete here. Across the stripe battles here still side by side. Douglas, Kyle Hess leading there in 5th. You see all these cars trying to gain momentum. Thomas, though, up here 2 abreast now. He's going to have Robert up here trying to take the lead. Robert gets a great run down the back straightaway. But again, it looks like you throw a parachute out of the back of the car as they head to turn 3. Just couldn't get the run. There's Bud Steele trying to tuck in behind as well. Right there in that 4th and that blue and white machine, that's going to be, looks like that is Charles. Trying to get these cars figured out. Bud on the bottom, Charles on the outside. Charles had a pretty good run there as well. Back out of turn 2, back down the back straightaway. High horsepower. You see all these cars drafting up, and this wide racetrack gives them plenty of room. 4 passes. It's just can they carry the momentum back by Thomas there, as Bud Steele now goes side by side for second. He's going to have Robert there to his outside. So again, tight battle up front, 7 laps in. Nobody really giving an inch here. Bud gets a good pull, but you see that car take off up the racetrack. I couldn't tell if he did that on purpose, if he may have just lost the nose there a little bit. As they thunder down the back straightaway now, 2 abreast up front. Steele right there on the high side, on the bottom. That's going to be Robert Thomas up there as well. Here comes Charles up into the mix. And sitting there in 5th, that's Kyle Hess there in that 5th position. Now on the apron looking for racing room, that is going to be Mr. Robert looking for room on the inside of the racetrack. Nothing to do, it has to fall back in line. This is what F1 at the Crowsnest F1 series looks like every week, just on top of one another. Down the front straightaway, those spread apart here now. Big draft coming from about 3rd on back. Trying to make a run, they'll drop back in line once again. 9 out of 150 already in the books here. Again, these cars with about, I think we've stated 30% or 60% fuel load. Lap number estimated probably around 35 to 40. Guys will jump in line once again. Down the front straightaway now, they start to block. Thomas leads the way. Thomas knows where to go right now. He's kind of boxed in. Out of turn number 2, this first pack completely separated from the second pack now. James Brooks back here in 6th, along with James Brooks and Douglas. 6th and 7th, they broke off that front pack as well. They're trying to run them back down. But 8th on back, that's going to be a total another pack of cars led by Tom back here, and they're going to be side by side in the second group. They're going to have to work together if they have plans on getting that front group at all. Mean and Green here for the first little bit of this one. Still a battle up front. Thomas still able to hang on. Thomas has led every lap here so far. He's got him lined up right behind him. Charles Johnson, Robert right there, Kyle Hess, and Bud Steele all right there in that front pack. Still side by side down the front straightaway. Nobody moving an inch there in that back group. If they don't get single file, they're liable to lose the first three cars, and I think Bud's going to slide up, take the spot, and go see those two drivers jump back in the line, try to make sure they don't lose the front three. Again, that would be a major blow. This field different. This race definitely has a green flag feel to it. Working our way down the back straightaway one more time. And Thomas able just to kind of play the draft game now. Keep that car up front. That's all his focus is right now, is keep that car in front. Try not to lose any positions. Those guys behind him. See him shuffling positions in behind him, but nobody's really been able to get clear of that leader, and we've seen that all along in this series. If you can get up front, you can control the air a little bit. And it's happening once again here at Autoclub tonight. These guys will have to figure out a way to overcome that. They've got plenty of time to figure that out. They've got 150 laps here tonight to sort that out. But we're coming up on lap number 16 out of 150. And we're going to take you for a crank it up here. And I'll be right back with you here on Extreme Sound TV. We have a battle for the lead. You've seen it right there. Robert jumped out of the line, got to the high side. Now he's trying to pinch Thomas down. Keep Thomas from being able to slide up the racetrack any at all. Really pinch that car off and hold his momentum down. It's not going to work. You see him now. He'll slide up and he's going to lose a couple of positions. He's going to drop all the way back to fourth now. Maybe further. There's still 3 wide back here near the 5th position. And man, oh man, that not work out for Robert at all. From battling for the lead back to 5th. In a heartbeat, here goes Bud Steele trying the same move. He dives to the outside lane. He's got help with him now. They're going to break apart through the corner now. If they can draft each other down the back straightaway, maybe get a good run. Side by side down the back straightaway here at Autoclub. The first pack right on top of each other. Bud Steele not able to get it done. He'll have to drop back in the line. Bud still looking for racing room. Can he drop to the bottom? No. He stays right in line. And not going to work. They'll come off of turn number 4. And they'll jump. Everybody will jump right back in line once again. Now back down the front straightaway into the corner once again. Or heading down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 now out of 4. Again, these guys try and still make another run at it on the outside groove. He's going to need more help up here. Again, you just cannot get that run that you need. Really tight racing there for third. That's going to be Robert and Douglas really, really tight. Still side by side for the lead here. As there's 21 complete. Thomas able to pull back out in front. Back across the stripe, everybody gets in line again, registered 2 lead changes. But when they get to the stripe, it just is not working. Let's go on board here in this tight group of cars with our helmet cam. This is what your driver's seeing. Right on that back bumper. And you see, really having to be patient here. As they head for turn number 1. Jump out, try to dive back in line, try to get the run from the blimp cam, headed for 3 and 4. This pack of cars inches off of each other, and it'll be that way all night long. These cars just nowhere to left to run, really. As these tires begin to wear, you see less and less. More single file. Now another run to the outside. Robert, big run. He nosed ahead. It'll score another lead change, but can he complete the pass through 3 and 4? No, again, Thomas able to edge back in front. On the bottom side, again, that bottom side is just so strong. These guys are really fighting to make it work. Now look at Bud having to kind of back up as well. Nobody able to get the run on Thomas. We got plenty of passing back in the pack. They're immersed in this pack. All the dirt, the air whipping around these race cars, creating these runs, but they just cannot get past the leader. It's crazy. They get up beside them, it's like they pull a parachute out of the back of the car. And now again, another big run. This time, best run I've seen so far. And it's Johnson on the outside. But again, man, that bottom lane just fights back so hard. It's not going to work. They'll go through 3 and 4. And Thomas will hold on once again. This is such a track position game here. If you're the leader, you basically control the pace of the race right now. Oh, right to the back bumper now. This is insanity. Up front now, nearly they just about touch wheels. As Charles again attempts to move. Doesn't work. He falls back one more time. He's going to open the door. Robert's going to sneak his way through back to second. And now Charles trying to figure out a way. He'll fall back. He's back to third. Roberts got that nose right there with Thomas. Out of turn to number 4, 28 laps complete. You see him snake down the front straightaway. Nobody really able to get the run now. There's a big run coming about 2 cars back to the outside. Douglas trying to make it work. Again, that run will die out. Now we have a pack of them. Oh, look at the big move down the back straightaway now. Robert trying again. All right, what they need to try to do is back a couple of their cars up. Create a gap from them to the leader. Back up. Work together. Stay with one another. Get the pull. And stay right there with each other. And still not working out. 3 wide there. 4th, 5th. Trying to work that out. But see, all this jostling around in the pack and moving back and forth, it's not helping their cause. They have got to get lined up and really make a one team effort to the outside. That's the only way, unless they can get to the bottom. Robert there, he went down there, couldn't make it work. He's going to fall back a little ways. Now 3 wide, he's going to lose the positions to Douglas. Charles and those guys are going to get right back by. Bud's still trapped on the outside, and that's going to be Douglas up to 2nd. Charles sitting in 3rd. All right, here we go again. See that gap that they formed there? If they can form that together and 2 cars go up there simultaneously and really try to work the draft, maybe they can get to the lead. But once again, that's easier said than done. Douglas may have a gap here if he can fall back in 2nd before somebody comes along and feels it. But it doesn't look like it. Charles is going to work his way back up to 2nd. Thomas still out front. Now we're 32 in. Here we go with the move on the outside one more time. Nobody up there with them. That'll die out pretty rapidly. And see, that's what I'm talking about. That moving back and forth down the straightaway. I hate to say it, you're almost going to have to push in these cars. And that is a very, very tricky thing to even attempt to try to do. But they've got a gap now. Look at the gap that's developing. From the leader back to 2nd. That's what you want to look for. Look at the pull. But he doesn't have anybody close enough to go with him. It was a perfect opportunity Johnson had. Just nobody close enough to make it work. But that's what you're going to say. And he drops below the apron. Now we've got a little bit of dicey situation. Jumping below the apron like that. That can get you in trouble. Let's look for a gap once again. Down the front straightaway. Bud Steele up there as well. Side by side for the lead. Johnson again. Pretty good run. But Thomas was able to fend it off. Alright, let's look for it. There he pulls out. 35 laps in. We could be getting close on fuel here. $35 laps on this tank of fuel right now. Look at them all try to work it. Look at the big run there that developed all the way up to 3rd, 2nd now for Douglas. But are we going to see him die out again? Yeah, the run just dissipates. So now you're Charles Johnson. You've tried everything under the sun to get around Thomas. What is it going to take? See him right around that white line of the racetrack. Down into turns 1 and 2. Two cars to the outside here one more time. You see that gap. Trying to build Douglas and Charles side by side. That little gap build there to Thomas. And that's kind of what you want They're still side by side here. If they could get down the line right real quick while there's a gap and try to play that gap game. And this might be a great opportunity for Johnson. If he can get somebody right there with him. Down the back straightaway, you're going to see that car pull up. Nope, couldn't do it. Just not enough momentum. And now they've actually gapped the rest of the field. The rest of that little pack. So if they jump back in line, they'll look at the run that it's going to give Robert down the front straightaway. He doesn't pull out with it though. He stays in line. A little different move there. They're staying in line. Now they'll head back down the back straightaway. Carl is just riding right there in line right now. Coming up to the completion of lap number 39. And look at that move. Robert to the outside now trying to make it work. Can't do it. He'll have to go back. He's probably going to have to fall back in line as well. These guys desperately trying anything. Get around your leader. As we're already coming up on 80 miles complete in this one. And Thomas had led basically every lap here. They've been 2 lead changes, but I believe every time when they got back to the stripe, Thomas had the lead. Now look at the big run from Charles again, but no help. Yeah, Maria, pit stops have to be coming pretty soon. And to be honest with you, what I'm seeing out of this package, you're wanting track position. You need track position. We're coming around 41, and right here it is. Nice entry for your leaders. Thomas down nice and easy. So that's 42 laps. Right about. And Charles actually going to stay out for another lap with Kyle. Expect these cars down pit road this time by here out of 4. And here they come nice and easy to their box. So around a 42 lap fuel run here for your first run of the race. Puts them stopping somewhere in the neighborhood of 84. '84 to '86. Look at Dwight coming into his box. Ledford coming into his box as well. Everybody nice and easy down. So they're all doing a great job. Now we'll see where this. And here comes Thomas right here. Here to take back over the race lead. There it is. Thomas back to the lead right now. Brooks being scored in second. And actually, these guys are pretty spread apart here. And we'll be right back here live on Extreme Sim TV for the coverage of the Crowsnest F1 Series. We'll be back momentarily. right as we're back here in the booth, Thomas Ayler still hang on to the lead. He's got James and Robert back here second and third. They're going to be tucked up pretty tight together. We'll see if they'll find a way maybe to run down Thomas down the front straightaway. Oh, wheel contact. Hang on to it. Nice driving from Robert. Hang on to that car. They've nearly made big time contact. They kept it straight. And man, if you look at it, we're already 55 of this 150 in. So we're looking here at an under 100 to go now. At least 2 more rounds of stops. They work their way down the front straightaway. We'll drop back through the field a little ways. Check out Bud Steele out here, back here in this next little group. At 6, Charles runs 7th. Back here in 8th is Dwight. 9th is Mr. Spale. These guys have dropped back a pretty good ways. Meanwhile, up front, we have a battle for the lead. As Brooks has gotten a big run, they run down their leader. Now let's see if Brooks is able to close the deal here. No, again, dies out, can't do nothing. Gotta be frustrating for these guys to get wheel to wheel with them, but not be able to complete the pass. Working our way through 3 and 4 once again. Take a look at the race stats so far. Fastest lap of 34 flat. Fastest mile per hour of 211. And right now 0 cautions for no laps. And look at the average lap time of 34.815 is your average lap time here so far this evening. So we'll get right back in line, go back to work. Trying to figure it out. 2 wide now up front now. We got to call. Oh, look at this. Somebody's finally able to get inside of Thomas. Robert went down to the apron to get it done, and he's going to have to back out of it. Wow. Just ran out of room and had to back out of it. And he's going to drop all the way to 3rd. Oh, man. Robert was able to get below Thomas, first car to do that all race long, but ran out of room down there and had to back out of the throttle. Brooks now drafting up to Thomas, trying to get a good run at it. And look at this, Brooks may actually do it. He's just about clear. Nope. Get in the corner and it's like the parachute comes out. Here comes Thomas back by on the inside. Brooks now looking. He's thinking, what have I got to do? I'm thinking the only way you make this work is get below the guy. Kind of like we seen just a moment ago what Robert did. Oh, we got Rollins. Robert, very slow. What in the world? See him heading into 3 and 4. Did he have an equipment malfunction? It's not time for him to head to pit road. But from 3rd, he's headed down. And he's stopping in the pit lane. And towed. Something had to have went wrong with that car. Meanwhile, Brooks trying to edge ahead of Thomas here. And again with the big run, but not able to clear him. So that's going to leave a 2-car show up front, Brooks and Thomas. And they've got quite the gap back to Douglas running 3rd. I mean, he's got help here with Bud Steele. If those guys can work together, maybe run the front two down now. See that gap definitely closing a little bit. Douglas needs Bud to get up there with him, and Kyle too, to kind of get in line, form a line behind him, try to go run those front two down. Of course, 63 of 150 already in the books there tonight. Now back to the outside, Bud. I'm really thinking if I was these guys, I would try to line up. But right now, they're kind of immersed in a battle for third, so they're not exactly lining up and riding. See Bud still there on the outside. Brooks and Thomas still up front. Nothing changed there. We're coming to complete lap number 66. Keep in mind, pit stops around lap 84 to 85. Coming up. Thomas there up front leading the way. Trying to stay with Brooks here with him. Douglas enthralled in this third place battle, man. These guys are not content riding here tonight at all. Oh, look at that move out of Steele jumping to the outside lane. Man, oh man. .69 and 150 here, and they're going to go 3 wide, heading into corners 1 and 2. They'll work that back out. Man, what a battle we're having here. It's just, guys, it's so hard to call this. They're constantly jumping out of line. I let the pitchers do the talking on this, because this is just an amazing thing to watch. They've done this for 69, now 70 laps. No issues. They're 3 wide once again. Shows you the quality level of drivers over at the Crowsnest that are able to do this. In these cars, it's not really the most stable of things to run on the oval anyway. Still 3 wide, 4 third now. 3 different lanes, 3 cars. .71 out of 150 complete now. Bud right there right in the middle lane. Now back 3 abreast one more time. .72 out of 150 complete now, and still side by side. 3 wide just about at 4/3. This group is still not able to run down your leaders. We're going to check in on 4th, 5th on back here in 7th. James Ledford, Charles back here as well. Kyle trying to do something up there with Bud and those guys. And it looks like we have 12 cars remaining running. Mitchell being in 12th. Excuse me, folks. Oh, Mitchell, they're in 12th. In 11th, Dave Lane. Darian, Dwight. One heck of a show out there. It's coming to 75 now. This time by. Getting ready for the next round of pit stops. As it looks like Brooks and Thomas have just agreed to kind of ride right now. With pit stops looming once again here in the next 10 or so laps. They're working lap number 32 of their stint. Keep in mind they all went to about lap 42 last time. Well, nobody really gaining on anybody here. Everybody's kind of single filed out a little bit. I really thought that group in behind them, if they could get single file those 3, catch these 2, that's not really been the case either. They've actually lost a little bit of time, a couple of tenths at least. That group being Bud Steele, Mr. Hess. And they will work their way out of turn 4 once again. Now nearly side by side one more time. Everybody, they're trying to work together. It's just not working the way they planned it. Now at 79, now everybody will start to kind of, I'd imagine you'll see them kind of dissipate apart because they know they got stops coming up. So probably they'll kind of separate a little ways. Try to give themselves a little bit of room here to get to pit road here in just a very short amount of time, a few laps. Now lap number 80 goes up on the board. And they're about 2.1 seconds back from your leaders now. So they're losing more and more time the more they battle. We will see how these pit stops work out. See if they can gain some ground. 81 now. Around 39 to 40 laps on the stint right now. So they're getting ready for their green flag stops. These two leaders, Brooks and Thomas, both doing a great job jumping line. They had not really deviated from that all stint, this stint in the race. Doing a great job working together coming to lap number 82. I think if you're Brooks, you've come to realize you're probably not going to make the move happen on the outside. So you're content to wait because you know you're going to have to make it to the bottom. Probably force the issue to get the lead. And you've got plenty of time left to come up with a plan. So you're kind of just waiting for that opportunity to arise if you can't get them on pit stops. Lap number 83 up on the board. Right now looking at 41 on their stint count. So they should be coming in this time or next time by. You see now they've got a 2.3 second gap over that second group. Everybody pretty spread out around the racetrack. Coming to the end here as they'll head towards pit road, probably this time by. By my field calculation, maybe they'll stretch it one more. Looks like they will. Nobody diving the pit road quite yet. Man, they're actually running a little longer this stint. 43 now up on the board. .43 laps in the stint. Let's see what they decide to do this time by. Still staying out. They're going to prolong this as long as they can. Nice work between these two. I don't think they'll get to 100 to make it a one-stop race. I think they'll just run out of juice before they get there. Heading through 3 and 4 and nope, not going to happen yet. They still stay out. Everybody from my tickers telling me they're still out there. Man, they have went a long way. 45 laps in this stint. 3 laps longer than the first stint that they ran. Now coming to put 45 in the books of this stint. Man, oh man, they're pushing it. Right on the back bumper. Nope. Nobody dives down pit road. Man, this is really surprising me. Bud Steele worked his way in the third, and he's actually pulled a little bit of a gap. away from Hess and Johnson. The two leaders still right there with one another. Coming out of turn 4 once again. Nobody really makes any moves that time by. Looks like Douglas has pulled off the racetrack along with Robert Richard. Both those cars are out. 11 cars left on the racetrack now. Oh, look up front. Nearly some contact there right on top of each other. Lap number 90. Still staying out. Wow. Where in the world are they getting this extra fuel from? They have went 49 laps on this stint. Man, oh man. Back into 3 and 4 right on each other's bumper. Brooks not letting up a bit. But still back here all by himself. He's not able to do anything either. What are these guys going to do? How long will they wait? That's the $1 million question. And do they get to lap 100? Because if they do, man, we're getting close to this being a one-stop race. If they stay out again, that puts them at lap number 51 on this stint, 52 for a couple other guys, including Bud Steele. These guys have to be trying to stay out to make this a one-stop race. Really, the only reason why you'd push it this far and this deep. Back down the back straightaway again. They'll draft up here one more time. Try to make it work. Can he do anything to it? Nope. He'll stay in line once again. Man, Brooks is just not leaving that back bumper of Thomas. Not even trying to pull out fast. Number 94 goes in the books. And this has been green flag all the way here so far. And we'll look at them rip their way through 3 and 4 once again. And if I'm looking at the stint counter now, they're at around 55 laps. And folks, if they can mimic this run next run, they should be able to make it all the way on fuel. $96 out of 150. These guys staying out a couple of more laps now. Now they come down pit road, as you can see. Your leader, that's going to be Thomas, diving off first. And man, oh man, that puts him right at that limit to maybe get it. This next stint to be his last stint. That was about 56 laps. So if they play this right, they could indeed make it from here on out. Brooks is going to have about a lap more fuel. He stays out. Let's see if we can squeeze another lap out of it. First time that we've really seen Thomas lose the lead altogether all day long. And it's going to come between a round of pit stops. We'll see when Brooks comes down where it cycles through. And he will come out into turn number 4 on the pit road. And his stint number around 57. So, there you have it. This could be the last stop for James Brooks on the evening. We're going to see how this circles out. Thomas and Bud Steele have come out right there together. This may indeed cycle out to be the battle for the lead. Bud's going to fall back in the line. Brooks coming off pit road now. And here comes Bud and Thomas. They're going to get a big run down the back straightaway on Brooks. But man, Brooks has had a great stop and now has circled out to a 2-second gap. Look at that. Now can Thomas and Bud work together to run down your leader? What a turn of events. A 2-second gain over the pit stops for Brooks. Puts him in great position. About a 2.2 second gap. And man, oh man, if I am any of these guys, I'm actually a little concerned. .9 now, 1.8, they are gaining. But I think they need to work together to try to get there. If they start battling, it's going to make the job of catching Brooks even harder. Man, these guys really need to get back in line. And they do so. Now back side by side once again. Man, if I'm these guys, I jump in the line and I go run down Brooks. I'm 1.4 back. If we look back from these two, Kyle Hess, all by himself. Carl is no help with him either. James Ledford, Dwight back here in 7th. Now 10 cars left running. Spell setting on pit road. That'll leave 9 actively on the racetrack running right now. And out front right now, Brooks still leads the way with a 1.2 second gap. And look how tight Bud Steele and Thomas are running together. Nice run. And we'll be right back here on Extreme Sim TV. We'll give you one more. Crank it up. Alright, lap number 111 coming up to be in the books here. Bud Steele and Mr. Thomas still side by side. However, they have not run down the gap to James Brooks quite yet. I'm looking back a little ways. Kyle Hess, Charles Johnson back here in the 5th position. Ledford back here in 6th as well. 112 in the books. We'll be headed for 113 here in a moment. Darian back here in 7th. 8th goes to Dwight. Dave Lane in 9th. Spell back out on track in 10th. He is 4 laps down out there in 10th position. 10 out of the 17 starters remain running. No yellows on the evening, been green since the beginning. And man, it's shaping up to be one of those finishes. Everyone pretty tight on fuel making it to the end. Thomas back there trying to close the gap. He got Bud with him. They're 1.1 back. Brooks has the lead. We've seen Thomas lead probably 85% of this race so far. Can Thomas get back to the lead? What about Bud? As Bud's actually taking over second, we'll go back and take a look. You see Bud Steele up to P2. I think what's happening here is these guys are starting to work more and more together to try to go run down your leader. With 115 being in the books. Now a little bit of a push there, trying to push along Bud Steele. Trying to help him out just a little bit. Now down to a 1 second gap, so they are gaining. And what's going to happen when they get the pull off the leader? I mean, if they get a big enough run on Brooks, can they make something happen if they work together to do it? That's going to be the $1 million question. There they come, working right there with one another once again. Big push now, 1.3 back. And they really need to figure out something. Now they're running the middle to the upper groove. Actually lost a little bit here, now 1.4 back. As it looks like Brooks has been able to inch away just a little bit. 118 complete. They rocket into turn number 1. You see Brooks out here all by himself. He has no drafting help. I still think if those two back there, Bud Steele and Thomas, can really work together, they should be able to still be able to make it work. Here we go. 120 will go in the books this time by. That'll give them 30 laps remaining. They're running out of options, running out of time. And keep in mind, fuel may be an issue as well. As time quickly runs out, now 121 in the books. This time by 1.2 second gap for Brooks. We're going to stay on this battle up front as the gap throughout the field has pretty much stabilized. See Hess there and Charles with a gap. And then you're going to have Ledford and it looks like Darian right there in 6th and 7th. Now, coming up, we're going to see 25 laps to go here before long. It's not over yet. Can somebody make a move? Bud still shoots to the bottom of the racetrack. Thomas on the high side. Those guys still trying to maybe do the leapfrog slingshot past each other. You see that gap from first to second. And another thing you got to think about is the amount of fuel Brooks is using, being up there all by himself with no drafting help. That can be a problem. Still now 1.33. This is insanity. I would have never thought at Autoclub we would have went green for 126 laps. Bud now works the bottom. Him and Thomas kind of switching back and forth, trying to come up with a way to run down your leader. These guys have got to get single file. Running side by side is not going to work. They're going to have to almost treat it like a cup race, get single file and just push. You got to take risks now. $128 is going to be right here as they cross the line. These guys have, I don't even know what else to tell them to do. I mean, they're in line now. Still not really cutting down the gap. Maybe a little bit, but keep in mind, Brooks, that amount of fuel he's using staying out there, man. He has no drafting help, so that's going to make a difference. They'll try to wind back up here one more time. Thomas peeks to the outside. Still not what they really want here. They're still about 1.5 back. As we're going to see 20 to go here pretty shortly. And now 1.7 back. They're actually losing a little bit of ground. Here we go. Still trying to make it work. Now almost a 2-second gap. Man, Brooks had that great pit stop. Came out with that lead, and he has maintained it all the way through this run, and now it's going to be 18 laps to go when we cross the stripe this time. Bye. And Bud still moves into second. But I don't know if they've got anything to go catch Brooks if they all run it all the way to the end on fuel. Now 2.2 second gap. And guys, I mean, they're starting now. Look at Thomas. Look at Bud. They're trying everything they can do now to work the draft, and it's starting to pay off. Thomas right to the back bumper. He's going to have to shove. Even though this is an F1 car, that's the only choice you've got right now. You have to go with 15 laps to go, or Brooks is going to walk away with this one. .4 is your gap. Coming to 15 to go. We've been green to flag since the beginning. Bud still trying to do something. Just can't do anything in this predicament right now. Now we got to be concerned looking ahead. Fuel for James Brooks. He's been out there by himself this whole run. And it could be very close as he's working 37, lap number 37 in this stint right now. Starting lap number 38. .8 seconds of the gap back to Steele now. Man, they have really fallen behind. Almost a 3-second gap from your leader to P2. Fuel really becoming an issue now. Those guys right now. Thomas taking back over from Bud for P2 there for a second. These guys may be trying to save a little bit of fuel. Brooks 13 to go, 12 to go this time by. Brooks trying to hang on here for the win. Doing everything they can now. 12 remaining. 12 laps remaining. Now a 4.4, 4.5 second gap back to Bud Steele and Thomas, who are still trying to work together, but they have just lost touch with the leader at this point. Coming to 10 laps to go. You see back in the pack there is Mr. Darian back here. Brooks now comes to 9 laps to go, and the question becomes, does he have enough fuel to make it? He stopped 2 laps later than the guys in second and third, but keep in mind they've been running in a draft the whole time. See, look at these guys. They backed up to a 5.2 second gap. Maybe try to save a little bit of fuel. Now 8 laps to go for James Brooks. Working the lap number 44 of his stint. Here they come across the stripe here, 7 to go. Coming to 6 to go this time by. Brooks doing everything he can just to be as smooth as possible. Now, 5 more laps to go. He's working 47 on this stint. Now, these other two, they're at 49. It's going to be majorly close for them. That's going to be Steele and Thomas. Nearly going to be pretty much running on fumes by the time this is over. 6 seconds back to Brooks, though. James now trying to just nurse it home. 4 more circuits. Four more circuits for these guys. Three laps to go now. Can Brooks hang on 3 more circuits? Man, oh man, this is going to be tight. Does he have enough fuel as he works lap number 49 of his stint? Heading for 2 laps to go. He's going to have to go 51 laps. Brooks seems to still be under power. He's got a 6.1 second lead. As you see Thomas and Steele going at it. Alright, as he enters turn number 4, Brooks is going to see the white flag. 2 miles is all that separates James Brooks from victory lane. He got the lead on a late race or green flag pit stop cycle. He played it to perfection, got the lead. Now as he tries to nurse it home, down the back straightaway he comes, still under power. Into 3 and 4, he can pretty much coast it from here. He's got a 6-second gap. He'll run 52 laps to end out his stint. And across the stripe he comes. James Brooks wins it here at Autoclub. Bud Steele is going to limp it home second. And Thomas there brings her home third. The Crowsnest F1 Series Auto Club 150 is in the books. Brooks walks away with the win, and we'll go get a word with him here momentarily. Alrighty, Mr. Brooks, it's Matt up in the booth. You got a copy on me?
I sure do, Matt.
Alrighty, man, you held on there. You got the win. Long run there at the end on fuel. I was kind of worried about you making it there, man.
Yeah, I had two laps to the good.
Alrighty, nicely done. Now, you took over the lead there on that final set of green flag stops there. How important was that to get the win by taking over the lead there in pit road?
Oh yeah, now that was great. I had 2 really good pit stops. I gained up to second on the first one, and I was just amazed that I came out on the second one. And I was worried, Bud and whoever was with him was catching me, and then I started cutting the tri-oval down in low, and I was able to start stretching it back out. And
Yeah, it almost looks like these cars and the experience we've had over the last couple of weeks, they don't want to draft well together.
Yeah, they do okay. Actually, what you can do, and that's what we were doing to get away on the middle part, was if you, as the second place car, get up really close to them, you can gain a mile or two going into the corner, and it's really, you got to be really tight though.
10-4 on that way. You walk away with the win here this week, and I think we head into Michigan next week. How do you think this car will react at Michigan with the banking and just the size of everything?
It should be fun. I mean, this is a good group of people, and it's fun to run with them, and we'll just give it all we got.
Alrighty, man. Well, congratulations on the win here tonight, James.
Okay, thank you much. Shout out to my kids. Hope they're watching, Quavi and Gail.
All right, yeah, yeah. On that note, everybody watching, these guys put on a great show tonight. So you ought to be proud of that, there, Brooks. That was a great show, bud.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for covering us.
No problem, buddy. Have a great one.
You too. Good night.
All right, we're gonna grab a P2, the one, the only, Bud Steel. All right, bud. It's Matt up here in the booth. You got a copy of me, man?
Hey, Matthew.
Alrighty, man. You got back there. You was running second with Thomas. Looked like y'all tried to work together to run the leader back down, but it just didn't work for you here. It looked like the cars didn't really want to work together all that great.
Well, I think Thomas and I both thought we were going to have to save about a lap and a half there at the end, but I think my fuel man lied to me.
Maybe you need to replace your fuel man.
Yeah, because I ended up with a lap and a half fuel left and should have ran out right at the end.
Alrighty, man. Well, nevertheless, a good finish bringing it home P2.
Yeah, that was a nice caution-free race. Kudos to Mr. Brooks. He did a heck of a job.
Yes, he did. Well, he never disappoints. I think the F1 cars, I think all the guys are still trying to figure these cars out a little bit. Their drafting is a little awkward, a little different than the Indy car.
Oh yeah, they're a different beast, no doubt.
Alrighty, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you back here on Thursday, buddy.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Alrighty, man. Anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
Oh, as always, thanks to all the Crows family and all these guys we race with, bunch of awesome guys. Couldn't ask for better group guys to race with.
Yeah, I know. I was looking up at the from the tower here atop the racetrack. And I'm pretty sure I seen a bunch of crows flying around in circles above the racetrack.
You may have.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll see you later, bud.
Hey, thanks, Matthew. Take care.
You too, sir. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab Mr. Thomas here at third place here tonight. All right, Thomas, it's Matt up in the booth. You got me, man.
I got you, Matt. How are you?
All right, doing good. Well, you and Bud tried to run down James, but it just didn't look like the cars wanted to work well enough to do together to make it happen.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have to save a little bit. It was looking real close on fuel mileage. I figured we'd be about a lap short, so it kind of didn't run as hard. I figured Bub was doing the same, and it ended up not working out for us. I actually thought we were probably gonna have to pit again. I was trying to do the math in my head, but I don't know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, sometimes fuel can be a tricky thing. You kind of guess the best you can.
Definitely. I was feeling good about coming out that last pit stop we had. I was too slow on the exit. I had it in third, and I think that gave Brooks a little head start on me, about a second and a half, and from there it was just nothing you can really do unless you're point 0.5 to the car. It's not gonna suck up. So he just slowly pulled off from me and Bud.
Alrighty, man. Well, y'all did a great effort to try to run them back down.
Thanks, man. It was a lot of fun.
Alrighty, man. Well, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we get out of here?
Definitely. You and Jimmy, y'all putting this race up tonight. It was a lot of fun, and thank y'all again. I'll be out here next week.
Alrighty, man. Well, congratulations, man, on P3 here tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, sir. Alrighty, folks. There you have it. We'll get ready to go through your race rundown here in a moment. Your unofficial finishing results. Alright. Up front, Mr. Brooks is going to take over on the win. Still, and then you got Mr. the one, the only Thomas sitting in third, Kyle in fourth. And the fifth tonight's going to go to Charles Johnson. Back in sixth, Mr. James Ledford back there, and Darian in seventh. Eighth is going to be Dave Lane, and in ninth, that's going to be Dwight and Michael Spell 10th. The last car left running. And then in 11th, to get everything caught back up, make sure it's accurate, Mitchell brings home 11th. 12th goes to Douglas. 13th is going to go to Robert. And then back in 14th goes to Mr. Tom. And 15th goes to Brent. And that will be your finishing results. And Craig and James round out the field 16th and 17th. So there you have it. We're going to get ready to get out of here. Big shout out to all the Crowsnest. It's always fun to come out and cover these races. And woohoo, we got through a broadcast, no technical problems. Pretty happy with that. The computer held up, so everybody at home, keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully, I won't have to miss any races this week due to the computer. And by the way, just so, because I try to be transparent on the channel, let everybody know what's going on. I have had some computer issues, and I've got parts coming. There's going to be some replacement of parts in the next week or two. So hopefully within the next week, all that will be resolved and back to your normally scheduled program here on Extreme Sim TV. But until tomorrow night, when we're back for the Roaring Thunder Cup Series tomorrow evening, been Matt with Extreme Sim TV, and I'll see you tomorrow night. And of course, the Crow's Nest back on Thursday with the IndyCar Series. Everyone have a great night. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time.